Fluffernutter sandwiches on the menu. Of course, Fluffernutter made right up the street in Lynn, of course. Cosmo Macero Jr. Associates. Didn't get the Fluffernutter. Looks like you've got everything else on the menu here, though.
We're trying everything.
Peter Kagis of the Boston Phoenix. How's the special butter here, by the way?
Very good. A nice combination of flavors, walnut and maple. It's nice.
Cinnamon, of course, is in there. You can't go wrong.
Can't beat it.
All right, fellas, we got a lot to get to. We'll talk about Beacon Hill in a second in the casino debate that's going on. First, though, let's talk about Barack Obama, because big day for him. He's obviously got the Reverend Jeremiah Wright troubles. He's going to have a big speech on race and, to a lesser extent, the Reverend. How important is this for his campaign, Cosmo?
I think it's really important. If I'm him, one thing I try to say in there is that even people who you have looked up to and drawn inspiration from in your life can sometimes let you down, disappoint, and surprise you. Problem with that is, I think a lot of people are wondering, how surprised is he with what the Reverend has said? But I think he needs to sound a message like that, of, acknowledging that he's drawn inspiration from the Reverend, because he has, but also saying it's a real disappointment, and it's too bad the things he's saying.
This isn't just a guy who's in a church and the pastor did something untoward or said some stupid things, Peter. This is a guy that married Barack Obama and baptized his 2 children. They're very good friends. They've been very tight. Barack wanted him to give the invocation at his announcement that he was running for president. This is more than just a friend screwing up here.
No, it's definitely more than that. And this speech could make or break Obama's run. Listen, this is going to go all the way to the convention. There's no doubt about that. He's not finished after tonight, or this morning rather. But this is a very important speech for Obama, far more important than Romney's speech about his religion that he delivered in Texas. Obama has already used the "let's condemn the sin but embrace the sinner" line of thinking. And I'm not sure that's going to work today. He's going to have to go much farther than that in his speech this morning.
Peter's right. It's more than just about tactfully throwing the Reverend under the bus here or something along those lines. It's really about who he is, and if he can make everyone believe that what he represents is not in any way illustrated by the comments made by the Reverend. That's a complicated thing to do.
One of the things that complicates this so much is we hear other pundits talking so much about Republicans playing to their base. Well, Obama has a very big base in Afro-Americans. And people would be surprised, perhaps to hear me say, that what the Reverend said is said in black churches, not every black church, but this is not an uncommon message. There is an incredible wellspring of anger in black America.
But you've got issues here. He's saying that 9/11 happened, we brought it on ourselves. You've got Barack's wife saying she was never proud of this country before, among other things. At least in the general election, were he to defeat Hillary, this is obviously just going to keep coming up. How does he quell that right now today?
Yeah, the cumulative effect is not good. And I think what he has to do is get through today and then worry about strategically how he handles this down the road. Because this is a whole supply of ammunition for not just Hillary, but for a McCain campaign come the general election.
Obama's greatest strength, his biggest asset, is his intelligence, but even more importantly, his eloquence. If ever there was going to be a test of that eloquence, it's going to be today.
One-word answer: who's going to be the Democratic nominee for president?
I still think it's up in the air. I don't think you can call that.
3 words: I don't know.
No one does.
That's why we pay him the big bucks right there. It's got to be Obama. This is where he's going to shine today, I think. I think you're right. If anyone can do this, it's going to be him. He's going to be tested. But he looked confident yesterday. I like his chances. Let's go to Beacon Hill now. Let's talk about the casino debate that's going on. Duvall's going to rally the troops at 9. Then we're going to have this hearing on economic development chaired by one of Sal's right-hand men. He's already said, before they've even started the hearing, he's sending the casino bill out, not recommended. Is this thing DOA?
It doesn't look good for the bill as it stands. I do think that there is a possibility that there could be a process of evolution where casino gaming and some legislation comes together where there's a solution that everyone can be happy. But, the Speaker has really drawn a line in the sand. He's been doing it for a while, and it's going to be tough to move him off of that.
New poll in today's papers, Peter, says that 42% of people in Massachusetts don't want casinos. 41% do. That's a sea change from what we've been hearing. A, is that true? And B, does that mean this isn't the only time this is going to be killed? The long-term prospects of casinos are in trouble.
I don't know about the long-term prospects. I don't think Deval Patrick and his administration have done a particularly good job of marshaling the forces they could have to have pushed this forward. I would tend to agree with Cosmo. It's not dead, but it's all but dead. Listen, what's been happening behind the scenes is that enough people have raised doubts that the projections of new money coming in are grossly overstated. And smart people who follow these things are worried that casinos will just move the money around and that the new businesses of casinos will hurt already existing arts, entertainment, and restaurant businesses.
I think there's a belief, and maybe accurate, that the governor's plan as presented really stands to change the culture and identity of Massachusetts. And maybe there's a way to bring casino gaming into the state without altering the culture.
By the way, I think that culture identity argument is a lot of hooey. This is
On the
about
other
money.
hand, the Globe editorial today says, and I wanted to get the quote right, if legislators weighed the matter objectively, it would be difficult to see how they could be against it. Well, you just laid out some reasons why sane people are against this thing, and the same people that are presenting this didn't have their facts straight.
Well, I think they overstated their facts. One of the worst things, actually, one of the things that happens in all of these gambling arguments, it happened in Maine, I think it happened in Rhode Island as well, is that the proponents of casinos overstate their case, thereby making themselves vulnerable. There is a case to be made for casinos. I don't think Deval's made a convincing case. Personally, I think I'm in favor of it, although I am having second thoughts.
Peter Cadges of the Boston Phoenix, Cosmo Macero, Vanille Associates, who wanted to talk about the New York governor. We're out of time, Cosmo. Next
We'll
week.
bet on it.